Wir sind wie fegelig freie, wir sind wie Blimelech im Feld, wir sind Chaveres getreie, wir Kinder von Jankes gezählt. Lo mir alle gehen in teures Weg. Lo mir alle gehen in teures Weg. Wir sind die Längen zusammen, wir leben im Frieden banan. Kein Sinne bei uns nicht verraten, die Teure, sie ist unser Bahn. Lo mir alle gehen in teures Weg. Lo mir alle gehen in teures Weg. Wir sind getreu unser Beide, wir lieben sein heilige Gebot. Wir schweren zu halten die Teure, zu dienen dem einzigen Gott. Lo mir alle gehen in teures Weg. Lo mir alle gehen in teures Weg. Lo mir alle could use my microphone.
I don't need a mic. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
There you go.
That was the introduction?
That was the introduction. This needs no introduction. If you heard that song and you still think this needs an introduction, please raise your hand. Nobody.
So this is a project from Shaul Magid and I. It's called Kabbalatcha, and we're in Marav time, so we're going to do Mavi Rayom. This is what happens when you're post-Orthodox. You feminize everything. And so we put together a Friday-night service on Fire Island. We were both clergy. And what? We are both, yeah, we are both, we were and we are. Hopefully we are still clergy. Like, I haven't looked, okay. And it was Kabbalat Shabbat, and we were supposed to organize it, except for he only plays old-time Appalachian songs. So, so then he came to my porch, and he was playing old-time Appalachian songs, and I started singing Kabbalat Shabbat, and hence Kabbalatcha. So this is Marav.
And there is a CD, by the way.
yatzevot, yatzevot shema, ya, yatzevot, yatzevot shema, ya, yatzevot, yatzevot shema, ya, yatzevot, yatzevot shema, ya, da, 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 da. Shekhinah hamariva aravim ruchat. Shekhinah hamariva aravim. Ya 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 da 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 da. Ay ya 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 da da da. Ay ya ya da 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 da. Ay ya ya da 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 da. So this one is called Raza de Shabbos.
And it's to an old time song called Pretty Polly. Some of you might know. It's in this very bizarre genre of old time Appalachian music called murder ballads. I'll just leave it there.
Raza de Shabbos, I Shabbos. Raza de Shabbos, I Shabbos. Tesachada v'raza decha. Raza de Shabbat, I Shabbat. Raza de Shabbat, I Shabbat. Desachada raza de Echad. Slow tamale, Shabbata deha. Slow tamale, Shabbata deha. Esachadat korsaya. Yakira Kadisha Baraza Biraza 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 Raza de Shabbat, I Shabbat. Thank you. So we were having a meeting in July about what projects we would be doing here for this event. And I asked a few of the people who were working on this program, I was like, well, I have a bunch of things that I'm doing that are new things that I'm doing because in the last 10 years, I've been parenting, solo parenting, and working full-time as a chazan, so I've had a lot of collaborations. And that's kind of been the only way I've been able to make music. And so I described each project, and I said, which one should I do? And they said, do all of them. So then I found myself in the situation where we're doing all of them. And this one is a collaboration between Avi Fox Rosen and I. It's the Yiddish poetry of Itzik Banger. And it's Chumash Lieder, it's satires of the poems that are satires of the Bible stories from Bereshis. And this one is just one where Sarah wants a child, and she really says, come on, it's time to have a child. And what does Ahron say?
Even a broomstick can shoot if God wills it, as it were.
This is post-Orthodox. Avramo, wenn wollen wir haben a Kind, wir senden beide schein alte Leid, bei Leiten a Freu in die Jahren wie ich, es scheint das 18. Mal läuft der Zeit. Avramo, wenn wollen wir haben a Kind, wir senden beide schein alte Leid, bei Leiten a Freu in die Jahren wie ich, es scheint das 18. Mal läuft der Zeit. Avram Avinu schmeichelt und schweigt und Picke von sein Jokerei.
Wie doch in mein Weib, als der Eibischter will, schießt a viel a Besem euch.
Avremel, du hörst da jede Nacht, Herr, ich lieb mit mein Leib, und Hagar ist nur dein Dienst, und ich bin dein ermestig Weib. Avram Avinu schmeichelt und schweigt, und Pipke von sein Jogerei.
Wie doch in mein Weib, als der Eibischter will, schießt a viel a Besem euch.
Oft dacht sich mir, als der Stern in Schein, in der Schamme von unser Kind. Was vogelt darum, a jede Nacht, zwischen Regen, Schatten und Wind. Oft dacht sich mir, als der Stern im Schein ist die Neshame von unser Kind. Was vagelt Ahron a jede Nacht zwischen Regen, Schatten und Wind. Avram Avinu schmeichelt und schweigt und Pipke von sein Jogerei.
Wie doch in mein Weib, als der Eibischter will, schießt a viel a Besem euch.
Thank you. And as we know, they did eventually have a child named Isaac. Etzikel, and when you have a little child, the only thing you need to know to do is to sing lullabies. Shlo
Itzikol tate shlof, Itzikol tate, nu aile lulu, Itzikol, nu aile lulu shlof. Sog den Scheffele, es ist Tag, das zweite Sog, es ist Nacht. A simin barrel der Selniker, oh, die Kram vermacht. A simin bei David ber dem Schmied, sitzt der Schau und still. A simin laser der Milner dreht, die Wand ist fahr der Meer. Schlaf, Itzikol tate shlof, Itzikol tate, nu aile lulu, Itzikol, nu aile lulu shlof, nu aile lulu shlof, nu aile lulu shlof, nu aile lulu shlof. Nu aile lulu shlof. Sagt das erste eins ist Tag, a simin in ganz kleis. Lernt das Rabbe Kadrol, die Sedre mit der Mois. A semin af in Chasm da, Aschit im Schneider im Sieg. Und Itzike der Kleiner liegt und schlaft noch nicht in wie schlaf. Itzike tate schlaf, Itzikol tate, nu aile lulu, Itzikol, nu aile lulu shlof, nu aile lulu shlof, nu aile lulu shlof, nu aile lulu shlof, shlof, nu aile lulu shlof, stille, stille. Stille, Itzikol tate shlof, Itzikol tate, nu aile lulu, Itzikol, nu aile lulu shlof.
Oh, there you go. Give it up for Basya Schechter. And now you understand why I didn't want to do an introduction. How do you introduce that? She said herself, there's several different projects, and that's why we've decided, made an executive decision, me and myself, to not do an introduction and instead do an ipchemestabre and kind of do an introduction after the first performance. But next up, I gotta look at my papers. Next we have poetry from Yermiyahu, Ahron, Taub, and he is a great example of what happens when you waste the Gemurah cup on poetry. And then, as a byproduct, you end up as the head of the Israel and Judaica section at the Library of Congress. Please welcome Yermiyahu, Ahron, Taub. Pick a seat.
Can you hear me? Is it really on? Okay. How's about now? It's not on.
Oh, it is on.
It is on. Okay. Okay. There we go. I hear it. Okay. Yeah, that was not my bio that was supposed to be read. I'm not here representing the Library of Congress. I need to say that. There needs to be a disclaimer, especially given what's going to be read. Okay. I'm going to start with a poem called, first of all, thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you to Naomi, Salman, Dikla. Thank you to Pearl. Many thank yous. It's an honor to be here. Okay. This poem is called Cautionary Tale. And there's an English and a Yiddish version. In the interest of time, I'll read the English and then only one stanza in Yiddish. Cautionary Tale. She was once so lovely, with auburn waves cascading down her tapered back, skin as if skimmed by pearls. Well, maybe not lovely exactly, but attractive, striking. Remember how men and women gaped as she walked down the street? Yes, even in Borough Park. Yes, even in Muncie. Only now look at her, the curves squared, the waves in retreat. Oi, Nebuch, Nebuch, such a Nebuch. Sie ist einmal gewesen, als euch schön. Mit reutbräuner Haar, herabquallendig auf ihr schlanken Rücken, die Haut, als wie gelöscht mit Perl. Nur öfter ist schön genau, aber zuziehendig, merkwürdig. Gedenkst, wie Männer und Frauen haben gegafft, bis sie spaziert in Gas. Ja, a viele im Borough Park, ja, a viele in Muncie. Nur gib jetzt a Guck auf ihr. Die Begen von ihr Guff seien schärfer geworden. Die Haare quallen sich zurück. Oi, Nebuch, Nebuch, Asa Nebuch. I should say Nebuch means unfortunate or poor soul. She was once so elegant, always in the right ensemble with the right accessories. Well, maybe not elegant exactly, but different, unusual. Remember the polka-dotted dress she wore to my Shlomi's bar mitzvah, and those pink beads. Even at Eti Zechrono Levracha's funeral, her lilac suit was so comforting, so soft when I hugged her afterwards. Only now look at her, schlepping to market in housecoat and slippers. Oi, Nebuch, Nebuch, such a Nebuch. She was once so saintly, always with the right word, a way of creating ease. Well, maybe not saintly exactly, but kind, good. Remember how she used to take the kids from school when I had to work? When Mayor was in the hospital, she brought hot meals for all of us, with dessert too. Only now she makes everyone nervous. Did you see how they look away? Oi, Nebuch, Nebuch, such a Nebuch. She was once so brilliant, always with the right answer, the solution to the problem. Well, maybe not brilliant exactly, but smart, disciplined. She knew whole Parshas Shavua by heart, yet never boasted. Remember how the teachers of a secular subject in Beis Yankif secretly begged her to apply to college, but she couldn't, she wouldn't. Only now she can barely hold on to her city job. Oi, Nebuch, Nebuch, Azan Nebuch. She was once the wonder girl of 13th Avenue, telling parables of our righteous ones, hurrying to greet the Sabbath queen after shopping for her parents and making the cholent and mopping the floors. But now she is alone in a rented room, subsidized by the Gmilas Chesed. But we shouldn't question. This is how it goes sometimes. I want you to know that I daven for her at the Maras HaMachpelah. Oy, Nebuch, Nebuch, such a Nebuch. So turn left, and here we are, that's our house. Yes, right next to the bakery. You've never had such Mandelbrot. Am I lucky or what? Still, it was good to see her, wasn't it? Thank you so much. Nora Simchas, all das Guts. Listen, maybe invite her for a Shabbos meal sometime. Maybe you know of someone for her. You just never know. Stranger things have happened. Next poem, Friday Afternoon Circle Play. And this is from Uncle Fagala, which was dedicated to Pearl and has a blurb from Naomi. Friday Afternoon Circle Play. The children don't know what to make of the spinster uncle, how to interpret the negative space around his muscular frame. In their confusion, they articulate the unspeakable. They voice the questions that hover nervously everywhere. With creased brow, they dig for origins and evolutions. They don't understand how this man in seemingly good health has traveled to them alone, devoid of spouse, devoid of brood, simply devoid. How is this so? When will it change? Their mother jogging between the challah smoking in the oven, the gefilte fish still too damp, and the soon-to-arrive Shabbos guests, allows the interrogation to continue, uneasily out of distraction, but curious too about where it will all lead. The children rise to encircle the spinster uncle and dance, leaving him alone in the neon center. They frame their questions anew in chant, which becomes accusation, then declaration. Der Vetter is a goy, der Vetter is a goy. Uncle is a Gentile. Incredulous themselves over the coining of their new credo, but eager for more interactive amusement, the children scatter to various crevices and caves of the house. The mother offers the spinster uncle some sponge cake. Still rooted in the spotlight, he accepts her offering. When she brings it to him, he mumbles his thanks, but feeds it instead to the stuffed lion, bear, and monkey, who have edged closer to form a circle of solace. And I'm going to end with a poem that Lynn Cohen was jotting down as she was watering the plants in Castles in the Sky. She was jotting down notes for. So here's the poem, and it's poem 31 from Was Stillkeit hat beleuchten, What Stillness Illuminated. 31. I'll read it in English first, then Yiddish. We were silver goddesses together. In ancient lace bodices and parchment shawls, our small bodies shone white and unpunished. The eaves of the attic echoed in seeming marble splendor. No reflection interrupted our wordless joy. Mir seinen Gewinn silberne Gettens zusammen. In antike spitzen Bodissen und parmettene Schalen haben unsere kleine Gufim geglanzt, weiß und unbestroft. Die Rinwes von Beutems haben gehircht in Kräumerstücke marmerne Pracht. Kein Abschein hat nicht übergerissen unser wortloser Fried. Dank.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry about the bio. I got it from Pearl. And now, welcome back, the Aisha Schail, who doesn't sing Aisha Schail, Basya Schechter. Where is she? Coming back? Oh, you're coming up now? I messed up. I messed up the order. I am sorry. I apologize. Next up is actually from the newest generation of performers. She's gonna do 2 songs, a song called Nerven, and the second one says here, Not Sure. I think that's the title. Here's the music and Letzunas of Riki Rose.
Nicht sich stippen. Nicht schappen, so du nicht für jeden einen. Schreien. Hey guys. Shalom Aleichem. After Orthodoxy, how's it going? How we doing? Make some noise! Who here understands Yiddish? Schoen darf ich mich nicht sprechen dazu. Ich blugen reden auf Englisch. You speak Jewish? You speak Jewish? Schoen. Schoen, was braucht man sich brechen dazu? Can man singen auf Yiddish? So this is a song I wrote. It's in Yiddish. And it's called Ich had ze met de nerven. Who knows what that means? Yes, it means, how do you explain this? I have mental health issues. It's a very nice way of saying it. But you usually used to use it in a more derogatory form, and you used to use it on someone else. You'd say, like this guy, had ze met de nerven. You know, like this guy, he's a little, cuckoo. So we grew up with this skit. Actually, before that, let me tell you a little bit about the song. The song is basically the story of my mental health journey. From when I was younger and I realized I had depression and I didn't know about a therapist. I didn't even know what depression was and all that. And I'm telling it all in the story. And something I finally, after a lot of begging, my parents, they said, okay, you can go to a psychiatrist. So I went to the psychiatrist and the psychiatrist said I had BPD. And I grew up in Williamsburg, so I knew that it can't be I have BPD because BPD is Butterpark disorder. I have to have Williamsburg disorder. Doesn't make sense. It must be a misdiagnosis. So I went to a different doctor, and it's true, it was a misdiagnosis. Turns out I'm just Jewish and I have anxiety. Schoen. So they gave me the pills, and I had to hide the pills. And because my parents would say, if people see you picking up pills from the pharmacy, we're not going to be able to find the shidduch. So we have to put it in the schwarze shopping bag, the same way when we bought the pads and the tampons. We didn't buy tampons. It was only pads. But we have to put in the schwarze shopping bag. It's like a black shopping bag, not the colorful ones that the pharmacy had. We specifically asked for a schwarze shopping bag. And then we had to hide it. And then I'm saying in the song that now that I'm older and I can be free to say, hey, I'm a little crazy. I don't have to take pills. I can just take mushrooms and go to ayahuasca ceremony. So that's the song. And the song starts with a little skit that we grew up with. And the skit goes like this. Chaim Stinkowitz geht zum Doktor. Chaim Stinkowitz goes to the doctor. Says, wo sind die du beim Doktorand? Why are you here at the doctor today? Ich had ze met de nerven. With what? With was? Met de nerven, met de nerven. Wo schreit dich, also had ze met de nerven. Why are you yelling, you crazy? Ich had ze met de nerven, sing it with me. Ich had ze met de nerven. Ich had ze met de nerven. Ich had ze met was? Met de nerven. My Mama hat mich gesucht, als jede Schidduch, was man antrug, ist am Beschigener, was es zickt. Behasset ihn mit den Nerven. Man hat hat verfiet, also ich kann mir nicht hin. A Schidduch wird mein Vater nicht treffen, von was? Behasset ihn mit den Nerven. Wenn ich bin gewinn bald 15 Jahre alt, hab ich schon gewollt, an Läufen im Wald, a Bottelkeilen all, an Schlingen ich soll, weil ich hab nicht gewiss, dass ich kein sehen am Therapist. Endlich später noch, so viel Gebete, haben sie gewinn Mathe, sie sehen am Psychiater, die Pillen gedacht behalten, tiefer in der Spalten. Keine soll nicht wissen, als ich tief in sei genießen. Jetzt, wenn ich bin älter, bin ich auch verstellter. Kann ich sogar mit Freude, als ich bin ein bisschen zu dreit. Ich hat sie die mit den Nerven. Ich hat sie die mit den Nerven. Sing it with me. Ich hat sie die mit den Nerven. Ich hat sie die mit was? Wo schreit ihr, also ihr hat sie die mit den Nerven? Ui, weiß, Sees was geschehen, du? Des geschehnt. Noch so viel Juren von Depressie, der Zeiliges beverhessie. Ich hab a Plan a bessere, in de Tag die jetzige. Schön du a so viel Alternatives, fahr wo soll man sich stoppen mit Pills. Als man kennt nur essen a Schwemmel. In Blitzem is man Semmel, wo schreit so rotzet in den Nerven? Se nisch kein gringe Masse, se kippt mit schwere Fraskes. De ganze Welt geht a Traske, wenn die sitzt mit Ayahuasca. Ma heit schon zu lachen, alles kann krachen. A schut auf die Sachen, der Finn sich zieht die machen. Schoin is man a bissl maschige, ma Nerven isch kann überrige. Den Tage der Ribbe soll man singen in alle Stieber. Gotze die mit den Nerven. Ich gotze die mit den Nerven. Come on, sing it. Ich gotze die mit den Nerven. 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 Ich gotze die mit was? Mit den Nerven! Wo schreit also? Hat sie die mit den Nerven? Shkoyach. Wow, thank you guys. All right. So this second song that I said I wasn't sure about. A minute, but gaat wat een lijn met gewoon schakelen met worden. Is a get the toilet wasser. Shkoyach, wow. So this song is a song I wasn't sure about what to do, and I was debating between two songs. Both of them are about dreams. Eins is man Seitenschulem, the andere is Ashainem Chulem. I decided on doing Ashainem Chulem because I know people know that one, and I want you guys to sing along. And it's a more fun song, so let's do that. And I want you to sing along with me, if you know it. Ashainem Chulem hab ich gesehen in Beis Hamikdash HaShlishi bin ich gewesen. Koyahanim zenen makrif karabonos Levim zinke hene shira males Hayem Moshe Rabbeinu lernt mit die Abois Is an Nedren sitzt und hat den Teure Ahron akoye Zinton die Menorre Hinnot sehe ich a herrliche Gesicht Es scheint sein Pony mit a göttlichen Licht Hoy sein Kopf a goldene Kroi Hui, ich erkenn ihm schon Das ist der Melech HaMashiach allein Der ganze Reulem steht mit dem Mohir is me alles oi des a teure Oi und von Schlaf hab ich sich oi Oi, mich geht da geht jeder Es ist echt schön, was ging so a schönem Chalem hab ich gesehen in Jerusalem hab angekommen. Sie sagt mit Fried Ruchim Aboy der letzte sind deine lichtigen Ohren. Ich hab gehabt so viel Zeit gelbonnen. Gott, du hast gewandelt, da hit sind die Jahren. Wie bist du mein Tahirkind, noch schöner geworden. Hinot sich Malochim gehen, sie fielen mit Annigen dem Beschäfer allein. Gekommen in der Welt, ach Gruppe hat man gestellt. Seine Liebe, lieben alle, Mekadisch sein. Tzadikim tanzen mitten Chaossen. Es ist schon geredet, so das Leviosen. Wie ein von Schlafen, ob ich sich aufgehaben. Da geht's nicht. Don't worry. Nicht gedeiget. Nicht gedeiget. Nicht gedeiget. Nicht gedeiget hier. Es lässt schon mal den Kabel nicht sein. Am Nutkele, gib Liebe, Moschiach mit Kabel sein. Hey, schicker mit Fred, hey, Gesundheit. Gehen wir alle zurück in die Rede. Gehen mit Moschen alle. Hey, yo, baby, come on. Es wird schön laufen. Hey, am Nutkele. Moschiach mit Kabel sein. Schicker mit Fred, hey, Gesundheit. Gehen wir alle zurück in die Rede. Gehen mit Moschen allein. Hayo, meinen wir, ja, es wird sein. Richtig.
Yeah, follow that. I'm trying to make sure I got my notes in order. Next up, here's someone you, after you hear him, you'll know that you wish he was hosting this event instead of me. Please welcome writer, author, storyteller, And, oh, I had that. Coming all the way from Toronto, a Talmud from Ner Yisrael Yeshiva. Please welcome, well, that's what it is. He's best known for his book, Born to Kvetch. Please welcome Michael Wex.
Oh, thank you very much. I can't say how happy, how glad I am to be here and have the opportunity to meet a number of people whose stuff I have read or have listened to and never actually had a chance to encounter Punim El Punim before. So it's been a really wonderful day just for that. And it's nice to see so many people with whom I have so much in common. But I still think that I'm probably the only person here who grew up in a small town in Western Canada in what you would now call a Haredi family. We're about 40 miles from the Montana border. I had the only set of payas for 1,000 miles in any direction. But there was a Jewish community there. And there were even a couple of kids roughly my own age who also came from European families. And every summer, these guys would both get sent off to a place called Camp Nijvelt. You know, the name says it all. Camp New World. This was a big Yiddish-speaking socialist summer camp just outside of Toronto. This is a real place, by the way. And there, you see, there's the proof. And you lived to tell about it, did you? They'd come back at the end of the summer, and I would ask them every year in the time-honored accents of youth the world over, "No, how was it?" And they'd tell me, "It was great, man. Pete Seeger was there." Well, it turns out that Pete Seeger really used to go and hang around at Camp Nijvelt. For all I know, they got Woody Guthrie and Cisco Houston and Leon Trotsky and Dr. Zhitlovsky and 3 of the Scottsboro boys. You know, my friends got Pete Seeger. Everybody knows Pete Seeger, right? Yeah. You know, little boxes on the hillside, little boxes made of ticky-tacky. Well, the only little boxes that anybody ever even heard of at the summer camp I went to were called tefillin. There's a black one and a black one and a black one and a black one. And they're all made out of kosher animals and they all look just the same. My father was arguably the single most prominent chassid in all of Lethbridge, Alberta. And I was at Camp Shomer Psoyim. The name comes from the Psalms. Shomer Psoyim Hashem, the Lord looks out for the feeble-minded. Yeah, it's great. My friends get the endless hootenanny, and I'm at Camp Withering Irony. Camp Yes means no. Camp Don't go getting any ideas, kid. Camp We're taking the toy out of Toyra. This was a summer camp in upstate New York for socially backward boys of Polish Hasidic parentage. Now, anybody who has ever spent 5 minutes with any Polish Hasidim is going to wonder just where it is that people like this get the chutzpah even to develop a notion of socially backward. I mean, you take 5 Polish Hasidim, put them into a room this size, one in either corner down there by the exits, one in either corner back here, and the 5th where I'm standing here, dead center of the stage. And I guarantee you, I give you my solemn word that inside of 90 seconds, they will be pushing. Intramural shoving for no apparent reason is the only sport these people have ever heard of. There's even a song that goes with it. Mir Stippensach, we're pushing, we're pushing. You know, you have to understand that in a society like this, where so relentlessly focused on textual interpretation, the very idea of being able to recite the rule book at exactly the same time as you're playing the game, this is as good as it is ever gonna get. I mean, it's no accident that Leo Seltzer, a great and forgotten American folk hero, and anybody here know who Leo Seltzer was? No, Leo Seltzer is the man who in 1935 invented roller derby, a game devoted 100% to pointless, sexually segregated shoving. Leo Seltzer is said to have grown up as a Boyaner Chussid on the Lower East Side of New York. Well, there was no roller derby at Camp Shomer Psoyim. No baseball, no horseshoes, nothing but Talmud under the open sky, and what the brochures referred to as their famous water sports program. Every Friday afternoon, each boy got 5 minutes alone in the mikveh with a snorkel. My friends got Pete Seeger, my friends got Paul Robeson. We got the Glugashov Erov, the rabbi of Glugashov. This was the youth specialist. Used to drive up from the city once a week and hack us a chinik and knock us a teapot and dreh us a spodek and turn us around a high fur hat of the type favored by Polish Chassidim. And he only ever had 2 topics of conversation. He must have figured already that if we were at this kind of a camp for Hasidic delinquents, we had to have been guilty of at least one: Zionism and nocturnal emissions. Now, according to the rabbi, these were exactly the same thing. I'm still trying to work out just how this was supposed to function. But to this day, I will wake up sometimes in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat with a kind of clammy feeling in my pajama bottoms, and I'll get out of the bed and pull down the covers to see just what's gone wrong with me this time. And there, staining my sheet, will be a giant Israeli flag. God, the only thing we had that even resembled anything you might find at a normal summer camp was arts and crafts. They used to let us whittle. Every boy got a knife and something to carve, and we used to sit there in the Moyle workshop, the circumciser training workshop, just us, the knives, and carrot after carrot after baby carrot. Turns out the people who owned the camp had a side business selling packaged kosher salads to grocery stores in the nearby town. Now, there's a road that leads from the camp directly to the center of the nearby town. The town is called Bethel, New York. It's August of 1969. I'm 15 years old. And what's going on the other side of Bethel, New York in August of 1969 is Woodstock. We could see the hippies trudging along the road, hear the helicopters up above us with Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix inside. Meanwhile, I'm doing microsurgery on my daily quota of carrots and humming all along the watchtower to myself in Yiddish. Mizandu epis an aroisgang, down, 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 zook der Badrun dem Gunif. It's okay, they thought I was davening. All of a sudden, though, a brainwave seizes me, and the Dylan song transforms itself into theme from Exodus. And the next thing I know, I'm crawling along through the underbrush by the side of the road. The burrs are snagging on my tzitzis. My rekela, my long jacket, is covered in grass stains. I would have felt exactly like Steve McQueen in The Great Escape, except that I was on all fours instead of a motorcycle. And my family was so religious that I had never actually been to a movie in my life. But who cared about Steve McQueen in Switzerland anyway? Because this was Woodstock. This was peace and love and music and girls. Girls whose mothers didn't care if they went around in short sleeves. Girls with mothers who went around in short sleeves. Oh my God, you found me around in Schmaltzgribbel. I am falling into the mother load of all chicken fat. I'm wearing payas and a tzitzis on top of my shirt. I just know I'm gonna fit right in. And I'm starting to climb that fence now. The barbed wire doesn't scare me anymore. I'm going out into that big wide world and find out all for myself just why girls have lips when good morning stars shine. It's the Moyle Workshop Morality Squad, and they've got their knives out. So instead of going to Woodstock, instead of even going to Camp Nijveld, bin ich gelegen in Dreerd and gebacken Beigel. I was lying in the ground baking bagels. Now, this is a fantastic Yiddish expression that goes a fair way to explaining the kind of mental furniture that I, in common, I am sure, with many people here, am still schlepping around with me. Well, why it has to be dafka bagels that you're baking, and as distinct from anything else, this I really couldn't tell you. But liegen in Dreerd, to lie in the ground, it can mean to be dead, but it can also mean that things might not perhaps be going quite so well as you might have wished that they would. So it's like you run into somebody you know on the street. You say, hello, Moshe, how's business? And Moshe tells you the business is in Dreerd. This is sit shiva for the business. It's the business of blessed memory already. You can even tell somebody to go in Dreerd. It's not very nice, but people do it all the time. It's a Yiddish way of telling somebody to drop dead or to go to hell. But in this phrase, in Liegen in Dreerd and Backen Beigel, it clearly refers to where it is that you happen to find yourself. And it's as if being dead isn't already bad enough. You have to spend all of eternity in hellishly hot bakery conditions because the SOBs will have the chutzpah to drop dead before you, got all the air-conditioned spaces in heaven. Baking bagels that being dead, you have no need to eat. That being dead, you have nobody to whom you can sell them. That being dead, you don't even know anybody except for other dead people who are all busy baking their own lousy bagels that they can't get rid of either. This is the Yiddish myth of Sisyphus. Except that Sisyphus a mythologischer Go. He's a mythological Gentile. He pushes the rock rolls back. He pushes the rock rolls back. The Goy at least comes out with muscles. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Michael Wex, everybody. Michael Wex, thank you, sir. That's fantastic. We are missing one Schechter. How about that? You see, that's why I don't do introductions. I don't know what these people are going to say. And they come out and they kill. And this is me talking while I'm trying to figure out where Basya Schechter is. There she is. Welcome back. I'll repeat the joke. The Aisha Schail who doesn't sing Aisha Schail, Basya Schechter.
Sorry. Hein menia Paula Klar ki betoke faminiot Yatzman listar Hashem Yispora.
Stumbling blocks before the blind, crumbling rocks as you try to climb, wondering what's wrong with your mind, huddling lost labyrinths trapped inside. Something is wrong. I can taste it, nothing's been won, so many years wasted putting up front so I don't have to face it. Running on fumes, time's up for the spaceship. No escape from this bed I made. I hold myself back, 50 shades of gray. No plan of attack, got nothing to say. Just more of the same day after day. Can't change, born this way. No way out, guess I have to stay. The clouds break, now I'm bathed in pain. Singing to myself in the acid rain.
Hashem Yisbarach, Hashem.
The hidden lights found in the darkest night when you might not see the stars, yet the closest call comes from the farthest. Nothing is whole as a broken heart is. Enemies teach us how to love. Remedies often taste like blood. A spoonful of sugar is not always possible. Every single obstacle is just another pot of gold. For the one who understands that failure is part of the plan. It's not when you fall, it's where you land. Gotta learn to crawl before you can stand. So we had to eat that goddamn fruit. Our faith was weak and we needed proof. We were taken as slaves. To become free, we go to sleep so that we can dream.
Hashem Yisbarach, Hashem Yisbarach, Hashem
The hidden lights found in the darkest. Night when you might not see the stars yet. The closest call comes from the farthest. Nothing as whole as a broken heart is. Enemies teach us how to love. Remedies often taste like blood. A spoonful of sugar is not always possible. Every single obstacle is just another pot of gold. For the one who understands that failure is part of the plan. It's not when you fall, it's where you land. Gotta learn to crawl before you can stand. So we had to eat that goddamn fruit. Our faith was weak and we needed proof. We were taken as slaves. To become free, we go to sleep so that we can dream.
Eden Perlstein.
Me and Basya have been making music together for a while. We have a project called Darshan, and we work with different ancient Jewish, Hebrew, Aramaic texts, and Basya composes beautiful original melodies to them, and I argue with them in English rhymes. And this project we've been working on for a very long time, and it is called Songs from the Void, and it engages with a number of teachings from Rebbe Nachman. And this song that we're going to do is called the Song of the Void, and it works with Likutei Moharan, Volume 1, number 64, the Torah of the Void, which is all about questions and certain kinds of questions. Judaism always prides itself, at least in certain sectors of the Jewish world. Judaism's all about questions. There's a lot of questions you're not supposed to ask, as we all know. And Rabbi Nachman also says, you know what? There are certain kinds of questions, philosophical questions, that are actually quite dangerous to ask. And when somebody asks those questions, the proper response, and for one who is being asked those questions from somebody, and even for somebody asking those questions, actually there's a certain level of question that the appropriate response is silence. And the more that you try to answer a certain quality of question with words, the deeper into the void you tumble. And so silence is the appropriate response to certain qualities of question, and from that silence, as Rabbi Nachman teaches, arises song.
רוצה לגלות רחמנותו, אבל לא היה עולם ממר אל רחמנותו, אבל לא היה מקום לברו, הכל אין סוף צריך לצמצם.
The shepherd sees the path ahead, and he holds aloft his staff to point the way for faithful sheep who don't know how to ask. He carves the air and splits the hair of wolves who sit and wait, and he keeps the flock together through the vicissitudes of fate.
Every wisdom in the world's got its own song. The wisdom of the heretic got her own song. Wisdom of the highest faith got her own song. It expresses itself as silence. Shtika.
He occupies their time and mind with a most elaborate game that runs on rules and rolls and rhymes. The river needs the rain, but rain won't fall until the call of the lost sheep is heard. It's a silent song so gentle, strong to speak without a word. It turns the head of our shepherd friend who scans the fertile void, but he sees no sheep in that valley deep. On the precipice he's poised to the ends of the earth and back again. He would go without protest to save the fleece of a single sheep and return them to the rest. But once he's wandered far beyond the borders of the camp, it gets so dark there is no light, no stars of night nor lamp. A language made of ancient pain is spoken by the frogs who praise the name throughout the day in the swampiest of bogs. They taught me that the only thing to bring the lost sheep home is to sing the soul awake, make water flow from stone. They said they taught me that the only way to bring the lost sheep home is to sing the soul awake, make water flow from stone.
So this is our last song before the award ceremony, and I want to invite, is my brother still here? I think he just left. This is a song that's, the question, there was an interview that said, like, what is it like for you? Do you go back to your orthodoxy do you become Orthodox again when you do creative work? And I said, it's always like a DNA imprint in you, and then it's like evolution. You just keep evolving into something different, but it's always there as sort of a blueprint in the past. And just want to thank Naomi Simon so much for her vision, her genius, for really taking us on a journey, for really bringing us together in this incredible conference and this beautiful night, and all the beautiful performers: Avi Fox Rosen on guitar, Eden Perlstein on rapping and music and wisdom and depth, Shaul Magid on banjo, Yosef Goldman on percussion and vocals, Rabbi Noam Lerman on vocals, Riki Rose for incredible music and song, and M for their incredible voice and their incredible spirit and song and harmony. M and I, FYI, we grew up together in Borough Park, and every high holidays, my father was a Stiebelhopper. My mother wanted to go to Bethel, and so we went to Bethel, and Ben Zion Miller was a chazan there, and incredible, except for when you're like 6, 7, 8 years old. The notes are so long. You're like, how come it takes like 10 minutes for every word, you know? And so we would find ourselves in the bathroom, kind of just playing and running away. And here we are all these years later, still making music and mischief together. And Yisrael, you're over there, like, come up. Come on, play some percussion. My brother is the reason why I'm a musician. I would never have been a musician without my brother. I came home from Israel one year, and he was playing guitar, and I was like, how do you do that? You and I was like, if you can do it, I can do it. Because
He's not tiny anymore. Last time I saw him, he was like 6.
And I think I think a lot of us have a lot of brothers and sisters, and sometimes you find that there's a mold, that there's a mold with, and some of the kids come out somewhat similar, and we feel very similar. So it's really just a joy to have him with us. And this is Taich. This is how we grew up learning Torah. And it's the story of Pharaoh's daughter. My name is Basya. That's why it's Pharaoh's daughter. And Loser, thank you. Everybody, Michael Wex, thank you so much for your incredible, amazing comedy. And Ahron Taub for your poetry. And Pearl Gluck for singing with us and for all your work in the... Okay, this is Taich. climbed on top of a cherry tree with his face toward a cluster, looking down at her. Yielding the juice, rolling down the branches, letting his mind meander, an erotic metaphor. This sensation was called lust. A man basked in his promising fluid.
Tree of life, body of a man, heart of the world in a grain of sand, hands of time, womb of the galaxy, divine mind, and I made my anatomy. Tree of life,
body of a man, heart of the world in a grain of sand, hands of time, womb of the galaxy, divine mind, and I made my anatomy. Tree of life, body of a man, heart of the world in a grain of sand, hands of time, womb of the galaxy, divine mind, and I made my anatomy. Tree of life, body of a man, heart of the world in a grain of sand, hands of time, womb of the galaxy, divine mind, and I made my anatomy. Tree of life, body of a man, heart of the world in a grain of sand, hands of time, womb of the galaxy, divine mind, and I made my anatomy. Tree of life, body of a man, heart of the world in a grain of sand, hands of time, womb of the galaxy, divine mind, and I made my anatomy. Tree of life, body of a man, heart of the world in a grain of sand, hands of time, womb of the galaxy, divine mind, and I made my anatomy. Tree of life, body of a man, heart of the world in a grain of sand, hands of time, womb of the galaxy, divine mind, and I made my anatomy. Tree of life, body of a man, heart of the world in a grain of sand, hands of time, womb of the galaxy, divine mind, and I made my anatomy. Tree of life, body of a man, heart of the world in a grain of sand, hands of time, womb of the galaxy, divine mind, and I made my anatomy. Tree of life, body of a man, heart of the world in a grain of sand. Basya Schechter. Basya Schechter and her 8 projects.
All right. All right. Oh, damn. As they say, Ahron, Ahron, Chuviv. Our final performer, I had nothing to drink, is many things, but tonight she's going to be known as a poet. Please welcome Rayne Longer.
Hi, everyone. I first wrote a version of this poem, No Child Left Behind, back in 2015 when I was fighting to give my daughter an education that wouldn't be just a fast track into an arranged marriage. At that point, that was all I wanted. I emphatically did not want to end up like this. But I didn't anticipate that to middle-aged rabbis with white beards and unwieldy amounts of power, a young mother telling them what she wants for her child instead of going through the proper channels and requesting a microdose of autonomy was an existential threat, and it turned my life upside down. In its various iterations, No Child Left Behind was an ode to the 3-year-old boy wrapped in a tallis on his first day of school, an answer to the question, if parents really don't like the education, why don't they just send the kids somewhere else? And a plea to those watching from the outside. It was always dedicated to the tens of thousands of children who are being deprived of the education they deserve and are mandated by law to receive. Many of the children I wrote about in 2015 now have their own children who are still not receiving the education they deserve and will not have access to the choices and opportunities that come with it. This is for them. No child left behind. A plea to passersby. Don't loathe our children. Under the rug of the Constitution, like dust balls in forgotten districts of New York, the star-spangled superhero capes of unsuspecting children are robbed, pawned for black and white prayer shawls embroidered with silver to crown patriarchs commanding for generations their offspring to never let go of the fringes around the edges of the cloak that is destined to become their burial shrouds. When the fringes come undone under the weight of be fruitful and multiply, the children grasp at unraveling strings, falling to the ground as their elders stride blindly into walls of once majestic structures, now decaying, crumbling, unfit for shelter. When rotting scaffolds can no longer blunt the impact, skulls crack against brutal concrete. When the net of public assistance no longer holds up, it entangles broken lives. The children cannot extricate themselves. Deceived as they are by leaders who buy elected officials and their mother's milk that lovingly poisoned their trust in wings and shields and maps that passersby might offer, for surely passersby mislead children. Boys and girls raised on promises of manna cannot fathom seeds and rain and growth. Sweat and toil are vain, they say, tilling the land obsolete, and crops must be a lie. With hazy memories and blazing eyes, they come of age. They answer grief with faith, embrace each other with mantras and words, searching for love in tomes they cannot read. Wounded, unable to rise, they build dams and habitats in the crust of the earth, mating and nesting and felling trees for sustenance, persistently altering their environment to survive, repairing in the night the breaches of the day, secluded in ponds of their own making. When the bodies of water above them freeze, knowingly, they traverse corridors that lead to traps, crying as their young, impregnated with myths, fall to the elements. They don't alter their course. They start anew, wary of intruders, guarding fiercely their territories, the dams being all the safety they know. For surely, passersby harm children. With disintegrating nets, they tie twigs and branches at the entrances of their lodges, adornments so they may never see sunlight, never face the extent of their injuries. With bloody fringes, they bind gates of roses, so thorns will bruise those who leave, and passersby dispensing healing potions will never suspect that all of them are maimed. If you are a passerby, lift the tapestry that 2.5 centuries of immigrants have woven to protect the floorboards that level this country. Sweep the dust away, use the beams to build arcs, and when the dams burst, because trust me, they will, send them out to rescue the children left behind, riding apocalyptic storms with illusionary anchors. Or use the floorboards now to build a bridge and teach the children how to fly.
Thank you.
All right, before we go into the award ceremony, I'd like to take just a couple of seconds to say something that I feel very strongly, and I think this is an incredible event that Nomi and Zalman put together. It's never been done before. It's the first time to bring together generations of people from our background who have taken many different paths in life and share it with us and show their the talent and their academic achievement. I hope we do this again next year, and I hope we keep doing this, and we keep doing this because we're discovering incredible talent. Not just discovering, but I think younger generations look at people who came before us and they get ideas for what they can do next, and we're all looking forward to that. All right. We have reached the grand finale of the event. The moment you've all been waiting for, where the unthinkable in our grand heresy I can't see properly. Let's try this again. We've reached the grand finale of this event, the moment you've all been waiting for, where we do the unthinkable in our grand heresy and expose one Lamed Vuvnik at a time. Nothing says righteous like dragging a hidden tzaddik into the spotlight against his will. And today, that honor or punishment falls upon the one and only Yitzchak Schonfeld. But who is Yitzchak Schonfeld? You can sit. Is he a hero? Is he a legend? Or is he just the guy who somehow became the accidental ringleader of Borough Park's strangest social experiment? The answer is, of course, all of the above and none of the above. What we call the true Schonfeld paradox. Yitzchak isn't just a person. He's a space. He is a space where lost, wandering, and mismatched souls gather. He listens to every idea, brilliant or ridiculous, without fully endorsing or rejecting it. He is the referee who never blows his whistle and the judge who never bangs his gavel. But if you want to see Yitzchak in his natural habitat, there's only one place to go. And that's the infamous Thursday night Schulent. It is a weekly event that's less of a dinner and more of a psychological experiment involving a crockpot. Every week, Jews, ex-Jews, converts, ex-converts, and anyone who feels like 8 p.m. is way too early for anything to start, gather around Yitzchak's table to do what he politely refers to as human behavior. Yitzchak sits at the center of it all, despite standing in the corner, embracing the chaos with a look that says, just another Thursday. It's not just the chulin that keeps people coming back, obviously. It's Yitzchak's gift for treating every idea with the same bemused respect. Whether you're debating theology or kugel recipes, Yitzchak's response is always a thoughtful pause, a shrug, that says, well, that's definitely something. Today, Yitzchak is being honored with the Lamed Vuf Tzaddik Award, the Righteous Frum Person Award. It's ironic, really, because Yitzchak is righteous not in any conventional way, but because he defies every category. He is an active practitioner of the great American experiment, the right to be wrong. He once told me, I don't believe in the God that you don't believe in, which basically captures his entire approach. It's not about rejecting belief, it's about rejecting rigid definitions of anything. His gatherings are a positive purgatory. I made that up, I don't know if it makes sense, but it's a place where you can exist between two worlds happily. Yitzchak, you've made a space where everyone has the right to be wrong, including you. May you continue to endure the half-baked theories, passionate rants, and moments of clarity that find their way to your door. We wouldn't trade you for the world, mostly because no one else could handle us, but also because no one else could hold this chaotic space like you do. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, I'm really, really sorry you had to listen to all this. Yitzchak Schonfeld, everybody. You don't have to. Say a few words, please. I'll hold it.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you all, and for friends of so long. I guess I'll relate a story. Years ago, before there was Cholent, we had an office, we had a business, and in the evenings, after around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, people would filter in from Borough Park, people who lived in the neighborhood, people who were questioning their faith, etc., etc. One day, a kid of, I don't know, in his late teens, comes knocking on the door. Actually, he didn't, because the door is always open. And he says, I need to speak to Johnny. So, okay. So there was a gentleman, Johnny Abraham, who, of blessed memory, who's no longer with us, who was the Rashke Bahag. He would sit in the back, and everybody would come to him with questions of anything, literature, history, philosophy, Gemara, etc. Anyway, so this kid comes and he says he's looking for Johnny. So we send him to Johnny, and he says, I heard I can speak to you in Apikoursis. So Johnny says, okay, which yeshiva do you go to? He says, 3 blocks away. I think it was Derech Chaim. And he says, what Masechta are you learning? He says, Masechta, what do you want from me? I want to speak to you in Apikoursis. He said, what Masechta did you learn last year? He says, I want to speak in Apikoursis. So he says, go back to yeshiva, learn a few Masechtas, Gemara, Rashi, Tosfos, then come back. Now you're just an Amoritz. So I just want to say thank you very much for this honor given to me by a bunch of bona fide apikarsim.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Basya Schechter. No, we're not doing it? We're doing it everyone together? Everybody together, okay. Led by Basya Schechter.
And everybody.
Everyone knows this one, so. We learned in a dark, frigid cellar, alone, just a small group of men
And women.
and in walked the soldiers and let them all away. The flame of Toida flickered on that day. So many tears, so much sorrow. Pain has lasted thousands of years. Soon we'll stop crying. The cruelty will end. The Melech HaMoshiach will descend. Someday we will all be together. Someday we'll be sheltered and warm. Never will we have to express any fears. Our scars and our wounds will disappear. Soon and Ifka will be there to greet us. Rochel and Lyle stand by and smile. And Miriam Anavia will lead us once again in Yerushalayim, Bezras Hashem. Together, someday we will all be together.
Someday we'll be sheltered and
warm. Never will we have to express any fears. Our scars and our wounds will disappear. Will disappear. Soon and Ifka will be there to greet us. Rachel and Leah will stand by and smile. And Miriam and Avia will lead us once again in Yerushalayim, Bezras Hashem. Someday